Hello, as some of you know, I've been leading a boycott against Israeli exports in the hope that these large, well, I haven't been leading it, I've been doing my own part in it, but I've been asking anyone, the quite substantial number of people who listen to me and follow me on Facebook, if they could join in as well. But the boycott basically Israeli exports in the hope that the large producers, the large corporations in Israel will put pressure on the Netanyahu psychopath government and get them to stop. In similar way, what happened with South Africa and apartheid. I can't think of any other possible way and means to prevent the shelling into high population civilian areas. This is the main contention for me, is the idea that these shells and these rockets and these drones and these bombs are being fired into high population civilian areas, which is all of Gaza essentially. And this is just a war crime. It violates all the protocols of war. It certainly, it doesn't do anything for anybody other than kill people. It's madness. But it's also a terror tactic as well, because the Israeli government at the moment, particularly, are just basically psychopaths. And let's not lose sight of the fact that there are plenty of Israelis who are disgusted about what's being done in their name. And so this brings me to another thing. I've seen there's been some very, very interesting and good and useful, pro-Gaza protests in this country and around the world. But one thing that's starting to piss me off, and it has been, and I mentioned on Facebook, and people got really upset about it, is that my activity in this process, my engagement with this process, is not about the Palestinian cause. I don't care about the Palestinian state as being, my basic mentality is that of an anarchist, and it's not about that for me. And so I think it looks very silly, Irish people waving Palestinian flags, because what it does then is it creates a situation of our side against your side. This is not about Israel, Palestine. It's about human decency versus, bastards, psychopaths in charge of governments sending troops out and soldiers out. But remember, some of them will die as well. I'm sure not all of them are mindless thugs out who enjoy killing Palestinians. In fact, I've seen people suggest that there always will be ones like that, but let's not forget there was plenty of videos sent back by Americans in Iraq, American troops in Iraq, killing civilians and laughing. So let's not pretend only Israeli troops do this. This is war, unfortunately, and this is what happens. Now, because of who I am, and because I seem to attract a very sensitive bunch who, a small percentage of them, if I say something the wrong way, on an issue, they go fucking mad. So in order to avoid this, I've now employed a spokesperson who's actually going to help me flesh out why this boycott is about stopping civilian deaths and not about the Palestinian cause. And I'll just bring him on now. It's Elvis. Okay. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Elvis, you and I see eye to eye on lots of things. If you were alive, but I want to know how do you feel about this Palestinian boycott? Well, let me tell you, baby, it's like this. It's really bad, terrible what they're doing to the children and the people and the innocent people in Gaza. It's real bad, baby, real bad. But this is not the same thing, baby, as me supporting a Palestinian state. Elvis, who's now dead inside the sun, was trying to come back to a comet I saw. See, this is not really Elvis. It's me channeling Elvis. Oh, by the way, there's a lot of maniacs out there who actually think my channeling is real. But this case, it actually is. Well, baby, it's like this. Statism does not solve political problems. It only generates factions. Let me move and cover your mouth, baby, so no one will see what a shit mom you are. Ventriloquist, I mean, baby, ventriloquist. Oh, the king is missing his home planet Earth. But he don't like when the motherfucking psychopaths don't curse on us. Oh, forgive my beautiful mama in heaven. She won't let me curse using the 4-letter words. Elvis loved the pussy. Anyway, my mama was a pig. Anyway, my Elvis Elvis is against Palestinian statehood on the assumption that all statism leads to oppression and all forms of government are evil, baby. They're evil, real evil, baby. Now, we're caught in a trap here, baby. We're caught in a trap. We can protest and we can boycott and we can stand. Elvis, stay still. We can stand up for the Palestinian cause, baby. But we do not have to be led into the trap of statism. You understand that, baby? You understand that? We can be neutral and we can care about people, but we do not have to get caught in a trap of statism by waving Palestinian flags. I agree, Elvis. Now, Elvis, what do you think about these white guys that you see walking around the street with those Islamic or these kind of like Middle Eastern shawls they all wear? And people used to say I look like a stupid motherfucker when I wore my white suit on stage and all my sequins. You look stupid, motherfuckers. You are not from the Middle East. You do not look cool, motherfuckers. No, I think, in fact, Elvis, a lot of them, from my own impression of them here in Ireland, would be they're what you call like upper middle class white boys. And they're trying to look cool, and they're all in the Socialist Workers' Party and all this other bollocks, and they think that they're they look cool because they have these scarves around their necks because they're right on, dude. I'm fashioning Funicon of the Socialist Alliance of South Dublin, right on, those types. You nailed them, baby. So boycott Israeli exports. Very good, Elvis. And do not get caught into the trap of supporting statism, because you will end up only creating more oppression for the Palestinians, who are a stateless people. And remember, there's an advantage in being a stateless people than they are right now. Okay, Elvis, I'll let you go back to the center of the sun. I'm going home, baby. I'm going home. Goodbye, Elvis. So there you go. No, if Elvis is against the idea of Palestinian statehood based on the assumption that it just creates, because Elvis is an anarchist, I am, baby, then we shouldn't be supporting it. At the end of the day, this boycott is to put pressure on Israeli exports to stop exporters, to put pressure on the government of Benjamin Netanyahu to stop the fucking bombing.